Going on? My name's Doku D or Devante, whichever you prefer. We're here talking again about another drawing. This time Deku, and we're also going to be talking about heroism and how I feel about it nowadays as a 22-year-old man. All right, so as you can see, I'm getting into the arms there, but heroism. Deku's a hero. Uh, I'm not able to enjoy and engage in heroes like I used to. Um, the reason being is because they protect the status quo of the way things are, and not all heroes do that. Some heroes want or fight for change on the inside. Deku in particular, I haven't quite finished my hero yet. I'm close to it though. But Deku, um, I don't know that he fights any change. I know that he's not like some of the other heroes who are in it for the fame and notoriety. Ugh, I can't talk. But I don't know. I think some villains have a point. Um, Taking that perspective into our world, um, I couldn't imagine praising a hero who prances around and uh, saves people under certain circumstances. That is, like protecting private property such as banks. I don't know, WalMarts, things like of that nature. Just protecting capitalism. I'm gonna just hit it on the nose. You're gonna notice I don't like capitalism anyway. Anti-capitalism, Bob Ross over here. Let me stop. Um, but I can no longer enjoy a hero that isn't more nuanced in the way that our society works today. Um, I want a hero that truly fights for freedom, not just when it's loud, or not just when the disruption is loud, but when it's silent and in the background and plays its way through our systems and affects people like myself. 22-year-old, pretty much in poverty, um, having to cut down on meals because I just don't have the money for it. Um, and I look online and look for assistance, and there's one assistance area in my location, and lo and behold, they're not accepting at the moment. Things shouldn't be this way, and this is the case for a lot of people across the U.S., across the world, and the governments and systems in place that hang over us keep the boots on our neck. The rich keep the boots on our neck. So I just can't enjoy a hero, fiction or nonfiction. I mean, if we had a hero in real life, but I can't enjoy a hero that seeks to maintain the status quo. And I know that's like, oh my God, wokey woke. Look, I'm woke as can get when it comes to certain shit. Like I genuinely can't enjoy like Batman or like Spider Man anymore to the same way that I used to be, to the way I used to be able to, because them niggas will come in and save a bank and it's not like they don't do any good. They don't do anything for the people, for the common man, common woman. But it's just they have the power. Imagine having power like Superman and only protecting private property, only saving a cat from a tree, like just never really using it to radically change the world because we need radical change. Um, and I don't know. I tend now to be more aligned with or not super villains. Some villains are pieces of shit. Villains with a point to their villainy, like a good point, a good rationale to it. Ones that want to change the world in meaningful ways. It isn't just I'm evil and I want to take over the world. I'm more on the side of the anti-hero or villain, typically, depending on the villain. Um, I'm just I don't know. Not to say I can't still enjoy heroes. Uh, I can. I've said that, but Deku in particular, from what I remember from watching My Hero Academia, Um, I don't remember any significant like change in the way things are ran. I think heroes get inspired by him. Classmates get inspired and they've been changed by him. But I'm gonna keep it real. That nigga not fighting capitalism, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. And you know, the main driving factor behind crime, behind villainy, is poverty. Even when it's not just for the sole purpose of getting money, it's because they were born in terrible circumstances. I mean, look at Shigaraki, or even All for One. I guess All for One is just kind of evil to be evil, but Shigaraki, the whole thing, the whole reason Deku wanted to save him is because he's not. He's really just a kid crying for help. Like, he's done horrible, terrible, deplorable shit, but no one's born evil, and that's the point. Is if he had different circumstances, if he had um, a different environment, things would be different. Things would change, and that's why I feel like the most powerful form of heroism. Yeah, I can't speak. I'm sorry. The most powerful form of heroism is attacking oppression at its source. Um, the things that put things in, or put people in places where they feel like they have no choice but to resort to crime, but to resort to villainy, but to lash out. Um, you'll notice that anytime in U.S. history, when it comes to poverty, when it comes to areas that aren't or are impoverished, what fixes that isn't more policing. What fixes that isn't, I don't know, let's say we had heroes. It wouldn't be heroes jumping in and just smacking a nigga that robs a bank. What fixes those things, and you can look this up, you can do research, is um, nurturing those places, is providing better resources for those places, is making them feel like it's worth trying, it's worth keeping my grades up, it's worth adhering to a schedule, making them feel validated in what they do, and giving them community, and um, taking the pressures, the financial pressures off of them. Um, you'll find those actually work. Um, and that's the kind of hero I want. That's the kind of hero we need right now, to be honest with you. Um, that being said, there's something to be said about heroes who, uh, you know what? Topic change. I'm sorry. There's something to be said about heroes that believe in the no kill rule. We'll change the topic a little bit. I personally, if I was a hero, it's hard to say. I believe in reform. I believe in, you know, trying to help a person um, instead of punishing the person. I will say there are some people who are irredeemable. And those people, I would say, are people who you can come to them on why their ideology is wrong. You can provide them facts, statistics. Um, you can provide them an arm and a leg. It doesn't matter what you say to them. It doesn't matter what you do. Um, they will still believe in harmful beliefs because it's just the way that they are. They're just hateful. And yes, you can argue that it's from indoctrination and things like that, but it's like when we get to a certain point where there's nothing you can do, but I guess I don't even know. I want to say wish the worst for them, but there's no more talking to be had because they're not listening. It's like, what else do we do? And I'm gonna take the training wheels off. I'm gonna just say Charlie Kirk was one of those people. He was a terrible debater, shitty person, was racist among other things. But it's like no matter how many debates he would have participated in, he would have kept spewing the same bullshit, and it wouldn't have mattered how long it took because it was profitable, because it made him money, because it got his face out there. And so when we're dealing with people who just don't want to change, I don't think the solution is to meet them in the middle and allow them to do harmful shit. I think the solution is to get rid of them entirely. And I'm not talking about killing. I want to make that clear. But in whatever society we build that's for the people, that ensures that everyone has what they need, they wouldn't be included. Um, it's just that simple. Um, I just, I guess, speaking from or talking more about that. Um, Villains, I guess you could say a villain like that in fiction would be Joker, someone who just keeps doing the shit that they do, despite whatever assistance they're offered. You could say, and I gotta start writing scripts, man. But besides um, whatever way you try to help them, they still want to do what they want to do. And you can argue, Joker is kind of a character born from one bad day. Um, so if certain things were in place where he didn't end up where he ended up in the first place, and it depends on the Joker run, I think. But Joker I'm talking about is like, I think it's the one who fell in the vat. This is the one I'm referencing. It kind of like fucked him up permanently. Um, or you can even go the Joker from the movie, the first movie. We don't talk about the second. Um, he just kept like things just kept failing him, and at some point it got to be too much. Um, and at a certain point they do things that make them irredeemable to some extent. Um, so it's a funny conversation, or not funny. It's a tricky conversation to have about where exactly do we draw the line and what's irredeemable and what's not, and what people can and cannot be saved, can and cannot be, stopped from spewing harmful rhetoric that further oppresses us and maintains the systems that we're in today. Um, but I say all this to say we need a hero. I need a hero. I'm trying to be my own hero. I'm sure everyone's trying to be their own hero, but that's exactly what the systems put in place that oppress us want you to do. Is they want you to be individualistic and only worry about what you have going on, and only your little world that you live in. But the reality is, as long as we keep doing that, we're going to keep failing. We're seeing this now in end stage capitalism, the hoarding of wealth, um, generational wealth being passed down, hoarded again. There's men out there, men, women who have so much wealth that they'll never be able to spend it in 1,000 lifetimes unless they just straight gave the shit all away. And it's stupid as fuck. I just have to say it plainly. It's stupid that we live in a system like this and we continue turning the wheels of it every day. Every day we clock into work. Every day we do what we have to do to protect what's ours, but we're harming them instead. Um, People still want that American dream. People still want to have that big family, big house, and don't realize that in pursuit of these things, and we strengthen the system that weakens the next person. And the next person should matter to you. The next person, your neighbor, should mean something to you. The welfare of your fellow man should mean something to you. Um, and whether you win in this system or you don't, or no, when you win in this, if you do win in this system and you get to that point where you are no longer affected by the negatives like poverty and living in horrible areas, etc., in my belief, you truly just strengthen the problem or really needing to fight. Yes, you've escaped, but what about the guy down the street? They deserve the same, regardless of what they worked for. All that, they're human sentient beings, and they deserve the same. They don't deserve to be treated less because they own less. Your value isn't how much money you can make. It's it should be by the type of person you are, how caring you are, how willing to help you are. I don't know, but we're reaching the end here. Barely talked about the drawing. Got off on a tangent. I apologize, but this is my take on Deku and my style. See, I was gonna draw some buildings, but I ain't gonna lie, I got lazy. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm gonna see you guys later. Subscribe if you want more weird drawing talks. I try to keep the theme consistent with who I'm drawing. But I also have some gripes and whatever. The video's over. But Stay tuned for more videos. Perhaps we'll shake up the way I do videos soon. I don't know. Hope you niggas have a good day. Consider some things I said and leave your opinions down in the comments below. See ya.